Glorify the King. Today we celebrate our 40th year as a sovereign nation. And for this, I give my God glory. It's a celebrative time, a time we ought to be celebrating. But a hypocrite is a hypocrite yesterday, whether it's a non-holiday or today, a holiday. In my humble opinion, such an important time in Bahamian history, when Bahamian, the average individual Bahamian tonight, should have been enjoying a beautiful life, like the generation before us did in respect to the political leaders, in respect to the sitting Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, the man that makes every other post in the country. Yet the red herring in respect to the little exercise they did in respect to the constitutional reform, such major document, while there's much to be said, the facts of the matter, the Bahamian people are the sovereigns of this land, and if the majority of their issues that we call issues of national importance, are ignored and continue to be ignored by men and women, we do not speak negatively right now in respect to the government of the country. And I must say, it is not the government of the country that the people has a problem with. It is men and women who have governed on behalf of the people, who have withheld the blessings of the Lord's people from them. It is the absolute truth. Specifically and primarily, for at least since the sitting and former Prime Minister, ministers and ministers of finance would have sat there, they had many opportunity to be a blessing to the people of God with their own natural resources. Yet they chose, for at least 22 years, those men, and lest I be misunderstood, am I saying they did no good for our country? The devil, and only devil around here, is those of us who do not want to admit the truth in respect to the dividing line. But every man can take their own road. At the end of the day, it comes right back to the center. And God, the Yeshua, is the center of every man universe, whether they like it or not. So, I say to the people of this country, God Most High is sovereign to me. Under the Constitution of our country, there are other Bahamians that lives here that does not subscribe to certain desires of certain men and women in our country as relates to religion or politics. Now, everyone have an individual sovereign right. Major issues of national importance should always go to a referendum. So, the Constitutional Committee have presented their constitutional report to the Prime Minister. Over $1 million was spent to produce a report that has to still be decided upon in any event by the Prime Minister. Something that should have won in the first place, just at least from it now, since it wasn't done, we can now have referendums pertaining and relating to primarily certain issues surrounding the recommendation of the Constitutional Committee. I, for one, like the chairman said, when he was a part of a group in 1975, he called. He wanted to see us 5 years, or at least within 2 years of us coming of age. However, I appreciate that, but you know, I honest to God think that the Westminster system is a good system if you have honest men and women and to run the government, number one. And your government is not run by men and women who are so rich and have been rich in this context for so long. They believe the people things are theirs. So, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. I'm not used to no light. Okay? The natural resources of this country and the talent of these Bahamian people would have caused us today and tonight to have many, 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 many more reasons to celebrate on today. It was a great festive time. People will love to be entertained. However, it will not negate the fact that the truth of the matter to the majority of the Bahamian, average Bahamian, who trusted in the Progressive Liberal Party and or the Free National Movement government in the last 22 with 3 more to go years of governing our country, in my humble opinion, tonight, many Bahamians are going to sleep hungry. Well then, let this be the truth 40 years later. Mr. Ingram promised to give the people the land free and clear so they can, because the issue of the day on many talk shows was land, and land being the basis of all wealth in respect to real estate. It was absolutely discriminatory in respect to the Constitution for so many of our natural resources to have been given away to foreigners who, at the very same time, Bahamians were being denied. That, according to the Constitution, is discriminatory, all right? And when many issues that I spoke about, I talked about, for example, there's the Prime Minister makes the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice in this particular case was a political person. In 2007, made Chief Justice by the Prime Minister at the time. That's a constitutional post that cannot just be moved. Well, we cannot keep that particular person being with the greatest humility under the Constitution. It is my right to speak and freedom of expression, and I am going to express myself with the greatest respect. And now, before I go any further, I will be remiss to say that on July, well, for I don't know what 45 days is in respect to Justice Milton Evans, in respect to case number 01341-//2012, heard on the 31st of May 2013. Tonight, on the 10th of July 2013, as our countrymen and women and our visitors around the world, business and whatever reason you have to do business with us, are celebrating and ought to have a wonderful time in this country. Amos J. Miller Israel have been targeted by, in his humble opinion, and that's me speaking, okay, by corrupt men and women who have infiltrated our system so much so that they are refusing to allow the people true freedom in respect to their blessing. Okay? Now, the talent of Bahamians in the past is what blessed and promoted this country and caused our country to grow even faster. And I'm saying to the world system and to the people of the world, we cannot cause insurrection against our government. Okay, we must not cause insurrection. We must not cause any kind of problems. However, it is very simple for a judge, Justice Milton Evans in this case, to make a ruling and refused to give me or make available to me the transcript of the case. That is a contravention. That is a contravention of my constitutional right in respect to Chapter 3 of the Bahamian Constitution, Article 28. He has violated, as a judge of our country, okay, that office. You see, whether I won the case or lost the case, and in this case, I lost the case. But this is where a whole lot of Bahamian people can make a case in respect to a class action lawsuit. Because the government, and I'm talking about these corrupt men and women now, not the government itself. The government itself is an engine. It's men and women that is the man and women handler of our government to be there and to be there to support the people. Now, I say this without contradiction and without fear. I totally believe 45 days within the any day after the 45 day, the police will try to arrest me on the streets and have me locked up for some ungodly reason. Why? Because they know, one, I have the talent, but until certain things, certain copyrights are signed. Why is it the Bahamas government, digressing for a minute, knowing I have so much talent in respect to different things I can do, they would not sit with the people? This, and I remind, when I say the people, this particular person, and I remind the Bahamian people of this country, especially the Progressive Liberal Party supporters, and I shall tell you all why I have to defend my constitutional right in such a manner. I am the young man in respect to the by-election in Elizabeth, whose truck was used by these people, whose resources was plundered out of good faith, that when the elections is held, one of the companies this government will choose to do jobs that need to be done and not choose foreigners. That was what I was complaining about, that the former government hired too much foreigners to do jobs that the Bahamian people. So it's in my right to desire my government and especially the party I supported, and they betrayed me. Okay? Now, there are at least 45 things in this dark building that I will create another level of history. If any police arrest me on that street, contravening my constitutional right even more. See, Bahamas, the only way these corrupt people I'm talking about can get away with what they have done is to snatch me off the street, so you'd never see and hear this truth ever again. My account at the Bank of the Bahamas, International, branch number 195. I ask everyone on the planet, you want to see me checkmate these corrupt men and women? I have a private account. You can help me as I have helped you. The account number at the Bank of the Bahamas, International, branch 195, private account for Amos J. Miller is 551-0048-927. 551-0048-92-7. 551-0048-92-7. Now, if your people, those who it concern, believe that the sun rise in the east for nothing, I'll sacrifice my life. And y'all will see what the Bible mean when it say a sea of glass. Because every black child for at least another 100 years will be in memorial. This will be a memorial. Everything that y'all rich and influential Bahamians who know y'all have issues too. Now, every man or woman in this country, individually speaking, under the Constitution, has a fundamental right to protection in respect to protection of their individual fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual. Now, I have been aggrieved by the law of our country because I brought to the attention of our law of our country corruption that took place in a foreign company. Okay? I don't have to call the name. Everybody knows the name. Oh, by the way, the name is GE, a subsidiary owned by General Electric. Now, I don't care how powerful y'all is. What y'all did to me tonight is my night to say 5 more days left for y'all. Now, Bahamas and world, they will try to probably take me off the street within 5 days and lock me away because they're now nervous. They ain't sure what to do. Well, I say to the world, this property is for sale. And the reason why I'm going to sell it, because I do not like trouble. But for these people to infiltrate my family like this and destroy my little children's future, I haven't talked to my little children. Okay? From before, well, just before the summer start. The school summer break started. Today is July 10th, and I haven't heard the voice of my Joshua, my 13-year-old disabled child that needs 3 surgeries. So y'all got a problem, because this ain't over. In fact, this ain't begun yet. My little Soma, on December this year, she'll celebrate her 5th birthday. They have my children stashed away somewhere while my ex-wife, ungodly, tried to take me to the cleaners in respect to the 27th of May, 2013. In the very same Justice Milton Evans court. That case was set for 11 o'clock in the morning, Justice Milton Evans, on the 27th of May, 2013. Y'all cannot bamboozle me out of anything. I ain't afraid to expose myself. Y'all think I'm afraid to expose y'all? Nah. I ain't afraid of no one because I ain't no criminal. Only criminals need to be afraid of the law. Now, ain't nothing what God bless in this world y'all could get me to say it's a curse. However, in this building, I must pay the First Caribbean International Bank their $370,000. Now, have I not talked for the Bahamian people for almost 18, 16, 17, 18 years, within 16 and 18 years? Well, I am asking the Bahamian people to help me stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. My light is off like over between 8 and 10,000 Bahamian lights are off. Cannot pay their bills. Their light bills are greater than the mortgage. Now, I asked the bank for assistance. Like many other Bahamian asked them for assistance long before any talk about recession in the Bahamas because of any recession that were taking place as a result of the global recession. Bahamian people were asking for blessings and help long before. So let this be the truth. If I don't get an opportunity to wake in my country, along with other Bahamians,